Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today I have a story that is going to blow your mind because it combines two incredible things that you might not expect to see together: old school mystery and cutting edge technology. You all know how much I love a good detective story. There is something about the hunt for the truth that just keeps us on the edge of our seats. But this one is special. It takes us to the charming town of Rosewood. Picture a place where every garden is bursting with colorful flowers and the air is constantly filled with the sweet, heavy fragrance of jasmine. It is the kind of town where the cobblestone streets seem to whisper stories of the past and you expect magic to be hiding around every corner. In this beautiful town lived a brilliant young detective named Nikki. Now, Nikki was not your average investigator. She had this extraordinary ability to notice details that everyone else overlooked, like a slight scuff on a shoe or the way a curtain hung just a little bit crooked. But she also had something no detective before her had ever possessed. She had an advanced AI detective system that worked right alongside her. This AI could process massive amounts of information in seconds and analyze clues and uncover patterns hidden from ordinary eyes. It was a digital partner that never slept and never missed a data point. Together, Nikki and her AI partner formed an unstoppable team. One bright afternoon, as Nikki was organizing case files in her sunlit office, a mysterious letter arrived. The envelope looked ancient, as though it had traveled through time itself. The paper was heavy and yellowed, and the handwriting was elegant but slightly shaky. The letter came from a man named Lucas who lived in a grand mansion on the very edge of Rosewood. Lucas explained that his family's most treasured possession had disappeared. It was an enchanted locket passed down through generations. According to family legend, the locket contained a clue leading to a hidden treasure that could only be discovered by someone with a pure heart. To Lucas, however, the locket was worth far more than any gold or treasure. It represented his family history and his memories and a legacy that he was terrified of losing. Without it, he felt as though a piece of himself had been lost forever. He had searched every inch of his home, but the locket was nowhere to be found. Determined to help, Nikki immediately traveled to the mansion. When she arrived, she found Lucas waiting at the entrance. He was charming and well-spoken, but the worry in his eyes was impossible to miss. He led her through grand hallways filled with portraits of ancestors until they reached the library. As they sat together in the mansion library, which was filled with thousands of leather-bound books, Lucas explained how the locket had vanished overnight. He told Nikki that the locket carried the story of a love that had survived generations. Listening to him, Nikki could hear how much it truly meant to him. This was not just a case of a missing item, it was a case of a missing heart. She could feel the weight of his grief, and it fueled her determination to solve the case. She activated her AI system and began a thorough investigation of the room. Suddenly, blue holographic displays appeared in front of her as the AI scanned the room for fingerprints and unusual patterns and hidden clues. Lucas watched in absolute amazement as advanced technology transformed the old library into something that looked straight out of the future. The AI crunched numbers and cross-referenced security data while Nikki moved quietly around the room. Yet despite all the technology, it was Nikki's human instincts that found the first real breakthrough. On a small wooden table tucked away in a dusty corner, she noticed a tiny piece of paper. It seemed insignificant, like a scrap that had been forgotten. But Nikki knew better. She carefully unfolded it and discovered a riddle written in elegant ink. The riddle said, "Where the rose petals fall, look beneath the garden wall." The AI immediately began searching historical records of the property. Within moments, it confirmed that the mansion's famous rose garden had remained virtually unchanged for nearly a century. This clue was pointing somewhere very specific. Without wasting a single second, Nikki and Lucas headed out into the garden. Rows of magnificent red roses stretched across the property, and their petals drifted through the air like crimson snowflakes. Nikki activated her scanner again. The AI examined the old stone garden wall, searching for irregularities hidden beneath decades of weathering and moss. The digital interface hummed as it layered current images over historical blueprints. Then suddenly a signal appeared on the display. A section of the wall showed unusual structural readings. As Nikki moved closer, she noticed a single brick that looked slightly different from all the others. It was just a fraction of an inch deeper than the rest, and the mortar around it was slightly thinner. Lucas held his breath, and the air seemed to grow still. Carefully, Nikki removed the brick. Behind it was a hidden compartment containing a small velvet box. For a moment, neither of them spoke. The sound of the wind through the roses was the only thing to be heard. Then Nikki slowly opened the box. Inside lay the enchanted locket. Its golden surface sparkled in the afternoon sunlight as though it had been waiting for this exact moment to be found. But there was something else inside that velvet box. It was a folded letter yellowed with age. Lucas carefully picked up the letter, and his hands were trembling as he unfolded it. As Nikki handed him the locket, their fingers touched briefly. For just a second, everything seemed to stand still. Neither of them said a word, but both felt an unexpected and powerful connection. Lucas began reading the letter aloud. It had been written by his great-grandfather many decades earlier. The letter told the story of a love so powerful that it had shaped generations of the family. It explained that the locket had been hidden intentionally, not to protect some physical treasure, but to preserve an important lesson. The letter said that the greatest treasure in life was never gold or jewels. It was love and family, and the memories shared with those who matter most. The locket's true magic was not some supernatural power. It was the legacy of connection it carried. Lucas looked at the locket and then at Nikki, and the relief on his face was replaced by a look of deep realization. As the sun began to set over Rosewood, bathing the garden in a warm golden light, the mystery had finally been solved. But something even more meaningful had begun. Nikki realized that while her AI system could identify clues and locate hidden objects and process endless amounts of information, it could never understand the emotions behind those clues. The AI could find the brick, but it could not feel the history of the house or the love in Lucas's voice. Only people could do that. Only the human heart could truly solve certain mysteries. Lucas smiled at Nikki, and she smiled back. From that day forward, they spent more and more time together. They investigated strange mysteries throughout Rosewood and uncovered secrets hidden within the town history. They became a team in every sense of the word. But somewhere along the way, their partnership became something much deeper than just work. The enchanted locket had accomplished exactly what it was meant to do. It had led them to happiness, and perhaps that was the greatest treasure of all. So remember, no matter how advanced technology becomes, some mysteries can only be solved through kindness and trust and human connection. We live in a world of data and algorithms, but the most important parts of life cannot be measured by a machine. Sometimes the most important clues do not lead to gold. They lead directly to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me on this adventure through Rosewood today. It has been a journey of discovery, and I am so glad I could share it with you. If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe and turn on those notifications for more exciting mysteries and fascinating adventures and unforgettable tales. Until next time, keep searching for the truth and never stop believing in a little bit of magic. Thank you for watching.